Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here. Once again, looking ahead to today's games for Sunday, December 13th. We only have a four-game slate for Fanduel today, and it is a repeat of literally of day one of the preseason just a couple days ago. So, should be relatively familiar with the players since, like I said, we just talked about them a couple days ago. Literally the same exact matchups that we had. So, hopefully, you guys did pretty good last night. A little bit of a downer for us on FanDuel. I did pretty good on DK. Like I said, for my own personal lineups, not too bad. I think the highest score is a 238, which, isn't crazy high, but if you're playing in a single game in the $100, $222 entry, which I do, it was easily a top 1% finish. So, but yeah, so not bad over there. FanDuel, like I said, a lot of people are kind of ticked off about like the salary, that they're not having any strict salaries. You can just put in whatever. Obviously on DK, they have a strict salary, so you just can't load up on Giannis, Luca, and so on and so forth. So a lot of people are playing DK for preseason. So and I don't blame them. It's a little easier over there just because like I said, their salaries, so you're just not picking all the top dogs. So yeah. Anyways, normal guys, if you want to get in on our preseason sale, like I said, it is until the 21st. Once that's over, it's going to go back up to normal prices. We have two separate ones. We have our main slate, and we also have our single game 150 lineups. That will be 6 to 7 times per week, so that is quite a bit of lineups right there. And like I said, we also have our month pass available as well. As normal, we always do our stuff on Slack, so make sure that you have a Slack account. It's free to sign up. It's like Discord, basically just a place for us to chat about NBA and stuff like that. So if you want to get in on any of that, all you need to do is hit us up on our Twitter, and we'll help you guys out with that. So let's get into it. So as I mentioned earlier, same exact teams that played the first day. So we got New York and Detroit. So let's go get into it a little here. Let's go look at Detroit's second preseason game last year, um, and see what they did. So let's see. They played their starters about 21, 26, 23, 25 minutes for their main guys up there. So we'll have to see. Like, see, Griffin is coming off an injury, but as we saw there, they definitely played their guys a lot more in their second preseason game. Let's just go look at the first one just to see what they did on their first game. Let me go look. All right, so their first game, Griffin 22 minutes, so a little bit more than what I was expecting for their guys. So in this one, I think you're going to expect the starters to play about 22 to 24 minutes in this one here. Um, as of now, nobody for New York is announced out. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Griffin's out for some reason, but for now, the starters probably 22, 25 minutes. So looking at who I like here for New York, I like Killian Hayes once again. I liked him quite a bit first game, and he unfortunately had 7 turnovers. Just wasn't feeling it. I think he could definitely rebound here against New York. So a guy that I don't think will be very popular just because of how he did day one. Um, Not too into any of these guys. Grant didn't really do much. I guess you could look at Griffin again if he gets 22, 25 minutes. Let's see here. Plumley, how did he do? 4 points, 3 steals. He could be worth a look, but his usage rate's just not high. 11 shots for Griffin. Grant was absolute terrible. Had 11 shots, but you could always look at him here. He might hit a couple more of those, get you 17, 18 points. Like I said, Hayes had 7 turnovers, but for the most part, I'm not really looking at anybody. Maybe Okafor, you could look at him, but overall, is there anyone that I'm like, man, I got to have this guy? No, definitely not. But the top guy is probably Griffin, and maybe little bit of Killian Hayes is the guys that I'm going to be looking at. So let's go look at the New York Knicks. So, like I said, this is a new coach this year for him, Tom Thibodeau. He played the Timberwolves last year in Game 2, about 20 minutes. But like I said, it looks like it's a little bit different here with New York. Um, I don't know. It looks like he's trying to play his younger guys a lot more. As you see, he had a pretty strict rotation, which is good for DFS purposes. Played most of his starters pretty good minutes. I had Alec Burks a little bit that first one just because he was announced starting and they said they're going to play their starters 24, 25 minutes. Of course, everyone plays big minutes besides Burks, but that's beside the point. Yeah, once again, I don't mind going to these guys again. RJ Barrett started the game really bad, but he finished a little bit better. Took 16 shots. So that's definitely a good thing. Usage rate's pretty high in game one. Once again, Peyton, you can look at him. We'll see if Thibodeau puts Mitchell Robertson at center. Maybe he's just trying to see who he likes more. We'll have to see. But Nerlens Noel looked pretty good. So if he's starting again and Knicks play about 24, 25 minutes again, I think literally Randall, Nerlens Noel, Peyton, RJ Barrett, and Obi Toppin. I think all those guys are worth a look for sure. I think Toppin plays about 21, 22 minutes. He looked really good in his first one out. He was firing for sure. So, yeah, once again, I think Knicks will be a little bit more popular here today. But I definitely don't mind going that way at all with the Knicks. So not a ton of Detroit. Definitely like some Knicks for sure. Next we got Houston and Chicago. I think kind of be the same thing for Houston here. I think they're going to play about the same amount of minutes. Let's go look at the Houston Rockets real quick on how they did. They did pretty good, obviously, against the Bulls. I didn't expect Wall and Cousins to do good as they did because of their injuries. But yeah, man, they did pretty good. They didn't play a ton of minutes, as you see, but they still went off in the minutes they were given. So we will have to see what they do here. I think maybe starters get about 20 minutes here. Like I said, I don't think they want to push Sean Wall and Cousins. Cousins probably plays about 16, 17, but like I said, with their injuries, I don't think they're going to want to push him too much here. And it looks like the same guys are going to be out for Houston that were out last game. So this is basically going to be the same thing. As you see here, Houston played almost every single one of their players. Compared to New York, New York had a lot stricter rotation, which is what you're looking for. Obviously, over here, they spread their guys out quite a bit. Bruno looked pretty good. Took 11 shots here. He'll definitely be popular just because, you know, he had a pretty good game first time out. So I don't mind looking at him. He might have ownership, so you could maybe fade him. But like I said, I mean, if the starters are going to play the same minutes, you could definitely look at Bruno here once again. But overall, I don't have too much interest. Like you said, you could look at Cousins and Wall if you want to. Maybe a little bit of Eric Gordon. I think their ownership's going to be a lot higher. So, but I'm expecting about the same amount of minutes unless we get otherwise told that they're going to change it up. So that's what we got going on there. Like I said, I don't mind a couple Rockets, but I don't think their minutes will be crazy high. So definitely banking on them having a down second, not a down game, but Wall and Cousins not doing as good as they did. Thankfully, their ownership was not too high. So let's go look at Chicago, how they did their second game. Obviously, like I said, it's going to be a different coach over there. But let's just kind of go see what they had. So in their second game, most of their guys played about 23, 24 minutes. Like I said, different coach, but I'm expecting about the same here in this one. Let's go over to 2020, obviously, and see how they did their first one. Just showing you all this just to kind of give you an idea of how their minutes looked the first game and how it did the second game. All right, so let's go back to it. Yeah, most of their main guys played about 20, 22 minutes. They got destroyed in that first half, but I don't mind going back to them. Like I said, Levine didn't do that great, but I don't mind going back to him. So Levine, Marketed, Kobe White, all three of those guys are in play once again. Satoransky played a massive amount of minutes. He's definitely worth a look here. I think Hutchison could be worth a look in GPP one-offs. They played Williams quite a bit, didn't really do a ton with it. But for the most part, the main guys that they're looking at, that they're going to have in their rotations, they played about 19 or 20 minutes. So expect about the same here in this one. Maybe a couple more minutes for Levine and Marketed and Kobe White. But yeah, those are the three monsters. Not monsters. Those are the three guys that I'm looking at. And maybe a little bit of Satoransky. Like I said, he played a massive 25, but I still think he'll play about 20, 25 in this one. Like I said, even the bench players that he's going to have in his rotations this year are going to play, pretty big minutes. Williams, Satoransky, Hutchison, so on and so forth. So don't mind a couple of those guys. Hopefully they rebound because it would look really bad last time out. Clippers, Lakers here. Once again, we're not sure if LeBron and AD are going to play. Like I said, it was one of the shortest preseasons. Shortest off seasons and NBA history. So yeah, I mean, there's no reason to put LeBron and AD in here. They know what they can do. They might play the last game of the season just to get, to get into it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they sat here once again. And we'll have to see what the Clippers do. They played Kawhi and Paul not that many minutes. Maybe they sit here because, like I said, they're playing them again, and I think they wanted them to play that first game just to get a little bit of chemistry with Ibaka and some of the new guys. But yeah, I mean, if Kawhi and oh my goodness, Paul George are out. You can definitely look at some of these guys: Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann. Um, let me see. That's the main guys that I'm looking at over there. Don't really have too many Clippers. If the Lakers, like I said, if AD and LeBron sit again and they do the same rotations that they did, obviously got to look at Harrell, Horton Tucker. He's going to be very high owned, and a little bit of Dennis Schroeder. Didn't do too much, but you can definitely look at him. Caruso's going to be out, so if it's the same rotations, I don't mind having a little bit of Quinn Cook either here. So basically, Kuzma, Horton Tucker, and Dennis Schroeder and Harrell, and probably a little bit of Quinn Cook, if the rotations are exactly as they were on the first game. And that's pretty self-explanatory right there. And expect the Lakers to have some ownership, especially Horton Tucker, after what he did Game 1. And then last but not least, Sacramento and Portland. Sacramento, they played their guys about 24, 25 minutes in their first game. And second game in 2019 preseason, they did exactly the same thing. So expect about the same for Sacramento here. Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes. Basically the same dudes. Like I said, if all the guys are out once again, as you see their Whiteside's out, then I'm literally going to be playing about the same guys of Sacramento that I played the first time. So those guys that I just mentioned are definitely in play. So let's go look at Portland. They played their guys half decent in the first game, about 20, 22 minutes. Some of the guys saw some half decent minutes, like Gary Trent and Covington. They played about 24, 25. And basically, let's just go show you guys real quick. In Game 2 of 2019, they played their starters a lot more. Lillard, they played their guys about 23, 25, 26 minutes. So this one, so far, should be a little bit more competitive. I expect the Blazers to play their starters, their main guys, McCollum and Lillard, a little bit more here. So Lillard still played 22, and McCollum only played 19. Like I said, I expect Lillard to play about 24, 25, and McCollum about 23, 25 as well. Um, but yeah, once again, kind of Terry Stotts, as I just mentioned with Chicago, even their bench players, their main guys that they're going to play in the regular season, are going to play pretty big minutes. I don't know who this CJ dude is. I played 29 minutes, did absolutely nothing. I don't think he's going to have a ton in the regular season. We'll have to see. I mean, Collins is out, but yeah, Gary Trent, he went off, had 18 points, killed it from 3-point range. So Trent's definitely in play. Harry Giles, this guy went absolutely off. Don't mind him. Carmelo did pretty good, had 13 shots. I mean, you can look at him for sure. I mean, I don't know. I'll have a little bit of him. Derrick Jones looked pretty solid. I mean, all these Blazers look pretty solid. So, yeah, once again, I don't mind stacking Portland and Sacramento. A couple of these Laker guys, depending on what the news is. Probably a couple more Chicago guys and in New York. So yeah, your main stacks in New York, Sacramento, and Portland, and then a couple Chicago guys and maybe one or two Laker guys. So literally almost the same thing as last time. So let's go put in a couple guys for you. So we got Randall once again over here at point guard. I think, like I said, Lillard should get an uptick here. So Lillard and Fox. Fox didn't look good the first time out, but I think he'll do a little bit better here. Shooting guard. I don't mind Zach LaVine, McCollum, Buddy Hill, all three of those guys. As I mentioned, Dennis Schroeder, R.J. Barrett. Like I said, if he's going to put up that many shots, you got to look at him once again. And like I said, he was kind of ticked off that he didn't make the rookie team at all last year, so he might want to prove something here. Um, Small forwards: Harrison Barnes, Eric Gordon, Derek Jones, Hutchison, maybe. Let's see. Bruno will be popular. That's kind of what we're looking at. Obi Toppin for sure. I think he'll play a couple more minutes. Expect these guys. I'm expecting a lot of chalk. I think the main guys that we mentioned are going to be very popular, so should be a very chalky one. I don't see any like diamonds in the rough here. I don't see anyone coming out of the blue and scoring. Um, so over here you got, like I said, you have Randall, Holmes, Laurie Markkinen, a little bit of Griffin, Kuzma, Nerlens Noel if he does start. If he doesn't start, then I don't mind looking at Mitchell Robertson, Harry Giles. Devontae Kaycock could be worth a look again. He had 21 or 22 fantasy points in that first one in limited minutes, so I don't mind maybe looking at Kaycock in a one-off, and that's mostly in that area. And to go finish it off, let's go look at the centers. Like I said, you got Harrell, probably your best bet. He should play about 20 minutes again. Like I said, if Kawhi and Paul George is out, I don't mind definitely looking at Zubac and his Cantor. It's worth a look. And that's mostly it there. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. Like I said, basically the same guys from last time. Should be very chalky out there, but definitely looking forward to it, and should be some pretty good high-scoring games. So as normal, stay up to date on Twitter. Like I said, go look at some of the injury news. Anything could happen throughout the day, but this is what I think the minutes should look like. Sacramento, Portland should, like I said, play 25, 28 minutes. So you definitely your most competitive game, and the guys you're going to want the most exposure to. And like I said, I like a couple New York guys for obvious reasons with their minutes, and then Chicago. Don't mind going back to them. Chicago should be a little bit lower owned since they sucked first game, so definitely take that. Put that to your advantage in GPPs. So that's what we've got going on. Thanks for watching the video once again. If you do like it, leave a like. I appreciate that quite a bit. And also hit that sub button. We will be doing NBA lineup advice videos almost every single day for you guys. This is all free for you. So once again, thanks for watching. And as normal, if you want to get in on the NBA season pass, we have our NBA main, and we also have our 150 lineups. Like I said, to get in on that, check us out. And like I said, we also have monthly available as well. Hit us up on our Twitter in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So that's it. Once again, thanks for watching. Enjoy Sunday. Watch some football. Watch some basketball. We'll see you guys here on Monday.